What's up, angels? It's your West Coast Belle, and I'm here with your review from Love and Marriage Huntsville, Season 8, Episode 1. And we're going to get right into it, but first, please subscribe to the channel to get more videos. Alright, the scene starts in the worst possible way. Martell has this sour sap look on his face as they start the show with clips of the media reporting his arrest. They use the phrase behind bars, and the issue with that is that the implication is that he's in a maximum security prison somewhere. Honestly, he probably never even made it to a holding tank, and the way that we're portrayed in the media is really one of the most important reasons why we should never get them involved. And when I say them, I mean the law. I mean, if you're in danger, you're in danger, but if you're not, you're not. And who knows about that, so I'll quickly move on from that. So in my last video, I asked the question, is Martell gonna say that Melody cheated again this season as he has 1,000 times? It's gonna fall flat and he really needs to give it up, honestly. And just to note, it does seem like Martell is rubbing Carlos the wrong way these days. It seems like something is going on between those two, and I'm gonna get down to the bottom of it, but just know that I do know. But yeah, during that FaceTime, Carlos plugged his podcast tour, which we're going to get a glimpse of at the very end of the show. So we'll talk about that as well. Next, Nel sits with Stormi, who looks absolutely fabulous. And I have to admit, Nel looks great too. They spill a little tea, and it was piping hot because it turns out that Kiki's been doing some dirty shit on the low, honey. And while we all knew Kiki was kind of low down and kind of gutter with it, I mean, damn, you know, she was trying to get on the show for so long, and then you get on the show and do that. If I was Tisha, I would call her and tell her, that's the reason why I didn't want to bring you on the show. I knew you were on that stuff. I knew you were scandalous, and I knew that you had a problem. And I just didn't want to be associated with somebody who is stealing from the D-boys in the neighborhood and all of the neighborhood stores. I just don't want to deal with it. I'm not in that space in my life, and I have the right to not be in that space. I'm just saying, what else could be wrong with Kiki other than she has some type of substance issue? Either that or a mental issue. That could be it too, you know, but something is definitely wrong. Hopefully we do see her come out of it, as Stormi said that she's riding for her and she wants to see her do well. We all do. We all do, but fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. So they start to talk about Nel and Martell, and what Nel said made sense. If things can be resolved, don't involve the cops. You know, don't involve the police. It's not necessary. But this saga has been going on since 2019 and before, and will not be over this season. What it boils down to is false are like headlights. Just like Greg said. Greg Leaks, rest in peace. You can only see others and not your own, okay? Greg Leaks, rest in peace. And with Melody and her need for security, all I have to say is Belle will never address an issue with a man alone, especially with a man that obviously has some type of difficulty with reality. But let's move on, because there is going to be so much of that in this season, as it always has been. This is the Melody and Martell show, and not for the reasons I'm sure that they thought it would have been when they started the show. But Nel and Stormi start to talk about how the Love and Marriage Huntsville producer Sonny married Destiny's ex Moses. And why this is significant is because as a producer, Sonny was directly assigned to Destiny. So she was assigned to Destiny's storyline. Destiny was there to give her all of the information about her life, her relationship, everything that she was going through. And it's really crazy because on the last reunion, Destiny said, on the last reunion that Destiny appeared on, she did say that she was dating someone. And I'm wondering if she sat out a season because that producer had something to do with it. She was giving her all of the information, and then all of a sudden Destiny is not on the show, and then Destiny reappears on the show after this producer marries her ex. It's really weird. But Destiny taught us a lesson, taught everyone a lesson that most grown women should know. If you have business in your relationship that you want to tell somebody, don't tell it to your friends. Do not tell it to your family. Go out and speak to a complete stranger who you do not know. Go and talk to a therapist. Go and talk to anybody but your closest friends. Because what she showed was she talked to a snake and she got bit. But snakes bite, right? And this is kind of a crazy dynamic because Destiny, in a sense, had to give Sunny the information about her personal life so that she could possibly film or get some TV time or anything. But in a sense, Sunny was behind her back, going back to her man and telling him everything she was saying. These things never aired on the show. Her relationship information, her relationship thoughts, her relationship woes never aired on the show. And then her producer ends up married to him. And honestly, she just got burned, you know. And yes, Moses as her friend and Sunny as her so-called sister and close friend and producer as well owed her more than to just end up in a serious relationship where they are now married. But to each his own. Hey, the show moves on to Carlos King and his first podcast tour, where, of course, Melody Rogers is his first guest. They discuss many things, but what stands out the most, and there are a few things, is first that he made her the prom queen after learning she never went to her own prom. I thought that was super sweet and a very special moment. Then she said that she was in a space where she wishes that she never had kids with Martell, or that Martell wasn't her kid's father. And I completely understand when you start going through the drama like that and your who was once your best friend becomes your worst enemy. That's how you feel, you know. And then she said that she doesn't regret starting the show. She doesn't regret starting the show because God made some things happen in her life that may not have happened. God showed her who her husband was, and she was able to be removed from the situation. Also, I wanted to end this with the part that sticks out the most, which was she spent so much time with someone who didn't satisfy her S3 sexually. You know, she was unsatisfied. She had not climaxed, but she follows up with, you just don't know what you're missing till you get it. And I get it, okay? I get what she's saying when she says that. It's just not a space that I've ever lived in, and I refuse to live in ever. So all I have to say is go and get your O, because God says so. No, but that's all I have for this one. Let's get down in the comments and talk about it. And please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for your bells.